Wing Tsun Media. Wing Tsun Media is in everything. Books, YouTube, DVDs, the internet, text, audio. You name it, you'll probably find it out there. Some good, some not so good. The whole concept, though, of media, you hear so many people say, all that stuff doesn't work. If you don't have a school, you're just wasting your time. It's funny how a lot of those folks, though, also have some DVDs, some books, they go to the internet, right? So what is the whole deal with media and the different kinds of media, and how can we take that stuff and put it into our training, and should we? Should we even attempt that? Well, you and I both know that the best way to learn is one-on-one or in a group class, that personal interaction. This is a physical skill, right? A martial art, not just Wing Tsun, but any physical skill is best learned when from a teacher to their student. The whole idea, though, of the information age is to share information. So you have books, the internet, you have phenomenal DVDs. You have YouTube, of all things, where you can go out and pretty much find, I had to fix the alternator in my car. I'd never fixed an alternator before. I looked up on YouTube, show me a RAV4, 99 RAV4 alternator, and there was like 4 billion videos on there on how to fix my alternator. No problem, all done. The information age is phenomenal, and Wing Tsun is no exception when it comes to what you can find out there. The problem, though, is you also find some pretty crappy information out there, to be honest. But the concept of using media in our training just seems to flip people out, and I don't know why, because they're watching this video also. So if you're watching the video and having a fit saying, oh, this stuff doesn't work, then why are you watching this video, right? For example, it wasn't too long ago, I was asked about, Wing Tsun has no hook punches. How are you going to get around something that doesn't have a hook punch? Well, of course, they're 100% wrong. Wing Tsun's primary punches are straight line, underneath and lifting or drilling, and the hook punch. There are a couple of other punches in there. We have a stabbing punch when you're very close. We have Kun Kyun, the inch punch, made famous by the late Bruce Lee. We have various punches, but the 3 punches are the foundation of Wing Tsun, and the hooking punch is one of them. The reason they keep saying that is they've never seen it. Not sure why. All they got to do is look at the BG. When you're there, right, the lops out and you grab in, you look, you turn, Chun Pao. They also say Wing Tsun doesn't have throws and anti-grappling and ground fighting and takedowns and all this. Of course it does. Now, not every family has that, every lineage or school, but in WT, it most certainly does. Now, to reiterate, we are not a formal part of Master Lung Ting's WT organization anymore, but that is where our training originates from, and it is a phenomenal system. There most certainly is takedowns and ground fighting. There is a full curriculum for that, but our concept is anti-takedowns, anti-grappling. We're Wing Tsun. We're fist fighters. We want to stay on our feet as much as possible. I don't want to go to the ground. Why would I want to go to the ground? It's kind of like when people always say, all fights go to the ground. No, they don't. I've had quite a few. I've had over 28 fights, challenge fights, since opening the doors of the AWCA in March '93. I could tell by watching them, some very good fighters, challengers, were trying to take me down, and I drilled them into the ground. It's not that I'm that good, it's the Wing Tsun concept when applied properly, not a lot of stuff, you see some freaky stuff in some of the schools, but when applied properly, is efficient and it works. Will I ever be taken down? You'll never hear me say it is impossible to be taken down. Of course I would never make such an outlandish claim, that's stupid. You never know what's going to happen in a fight, but when people say you always go to the ground, I'm sorry. You don't. It's just not true. Many people want to get you to the ground because they're ground fighters. They're jiu-jitsu, they're wrestlers. They'll do everything they can to get you to the ground. Well, to counter that, I will do everything I can to stay on my feet. I'm a Wing Tsun fighter. That's what we do. I'm mobile. I'm able to move, right? And when you watch a lot of the media and you hear in DVDs and books and things, you see those elements that exist to keep you on your feet. It's just a lot of folks don't really give it much thought. I'm not sure why. But anyway, back to BG. So when it grabs, Chun Pao, there's a throw, right? When you grab and you throw somebody, there it is in BG. And then Al Chong Kyun, the hooking punch, right? Something's I can't punch straight because I'd hit them. They're a little too low, so I can't bump underneath with Chao Chong Kyun, the lifting punch, or some call it a drilling punch. So you take it over, in and through the hole, right? So hooks most certainly do exist. A lot of things exist. In many people's mindsets, they don't give, they have a very limited perspective, to be honest, because they've seen certain things and then they think everything is like that. I can understand to a point. It's hard to see certain things and then not portray that onto everything else. But that's like saying every UFC fight is the same. Of course not. There's different people in there with different skills, different weights. Some are phenomenal, shooters, and they'll shoot in quick. Some prefer the ground. Some, like Chuck Liddell, they prefer to stay on their feet. A lot of people are good on their feet and on the ground. You have a whole range, a whole gamut of skill sets, right? Well, the same thing exists in Wing Tsun. The skill set of lineage to families to, is it WC, WT, VT, and some names, it gives you a headache if you look at them long enough trying to pronounce some of this stuff. They can be absolutely phenomenal, but you have to explore that. And how do you explore that without media, without books and DVDs, YouTube, videos, internet websites? The whole concept of information is for you to use. So when you think of distance learning programs, YouTube, and the other media that's out there, you have to take it, number one, with a grain of salt, but take it and train it. See if it works. If you're not into Wing Chun, I'm not sure why you're watching this anyway, but if you are not into Wing Chun, then it's not a big deal. You will examine the arts, because if you're totally into mixed martial arts, then you're focused on boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling. You're into judo and aikido, for the softness and to throw somebody, 10 feet across the ring. You're into those elements that assist your view of what a martial art or fighting skill set should be. If you're into other realms of the fighting arts, then you're into that. In our case, it's Wing Chun. So to say that good media doesn't exist, I couldn't disagree more, because all you got to do is just look out there. But to take individual parts of that and to put it in your gym, why not do that? Put it in your home gym, in your living room, if that's where you train. Take it to your commercial school. Grab somebody and open the book and say, this looks kind of cool. Let's see what that does. I know it might be from here, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's check it out. Why is that so wrong? That's what all this information is for, right? So I wanted to express some of my thoughts on how I see media, what we're doing to help that along, and maybe give you some things to think about. As it's like, books are stupid and DVDs are dumb and this and that. It's like, why? When did that suddenly change? Somebody is portraying something you enjoy, Wing Chun, regardless of what family it's from. They're portraying a certain thing, a certain drill, a certain application. They're discussing the concept. They're discussing their thoughts on it. And you can believe it or not believe it. That's you. But they're expressing that view. You can take that and see what it does for you. They're taking a drill or an application that right now you feel you know very, very well, but they're showing it in a different way. How do you know that way isn't better? Or might be better, because we all know there's the angle here and here and here and here. All these little tiny angles can change how your body responds to it, right? So maybe what they're doing it works, right? But you won't know if you don't try. So for those who are anti-video, anti-book, anti-DVD, give it a try. Put it into practice. Open your mind a little and see what it does for you. It's a pretty cool journey when you open yourself up to learning new things. And even if you completely disagree with what that book or DVD or whatever was showing, you'd be surprised at how open your mind becomes and how better you get at what you already knew.